conclusion to season 2. It's also the conclusion to seasons 1 and 2. It's also the conclusion to 6 films and 12 episodes and 14 years of my life. I was 29 when I was cast. I'm 42 now. It's been a journey.
From the first time we met Loki in Thor 1 to Thor Ragnarok, all he wanted was to be in a throne. But when he finally formed a bond with his brother, all was lost and he died. And from the first time we met Branched Loki in Loki Season 1, all he wanted to do was be the king of the multiverse. However, as the show progressed, all he wanted to do was be with his new friends. But alas, winning isn't in the books for Loki. So he finally took the throne as he always wanted. However, it was at the cost of his friends. This is honestly one of the saddest endings for a character in my opinion. Every time Loki got a small taste of what truly made him happy, everything went south. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody holding up after the Loki finale? I know personally, I'm devastated, but let me know in the comments how you feel about it and your reactions. In this video, I'm just gonna be talking about why this entire situation of Loki being in the new loom is so sad and the future of Loki's character, if there even is a future for him. Be sure to like and subscribe, and please watch the entire video so I can buy a PS5 to play Spider-Man 2. Let's start off with why the ending of Loki Season 2 is so sad. So since the first time we met Loki, he's always believed he was meant for something more. He was a god after all, and all of that got to his brain, making him do the crazy acts of murdering many in New York. At this point in time, Loki was still unsure of his glorious purpose. Now fast forward to Thor Ragnarok. By the end, Loki finally found his glorious purpose, which was to be with his brother ruling Asgard. And as we all know, this didn't end well, as in efforts to save his brother and the entirety of Asgard, he died in the events of Infinity War. This to me was so sad, as just as Loki was happy for once in his life, he had to die so the people he loved the most and the people who gave purpose to him lived. Now the same thing that happened in Infinity War happened to the branched Loki we've been following so far in the Loki TV show. At first, all he wanted was all the power, but by the second season, without Loki even knowing, it became more of being able to save his friends rather than taking up all the power. And that is shown in episode 5 when Loki finally confronts himself on why he even cares if the TVA exists. And once episode 6 rolls around, Loki is put in the same situation as he was in Avengers Infinity War. He once again saves everybody whom he loved in turn of imprisoning himself for all of time so he can keep the timelines from dying. This is honestly just so sad because every time he finally gets what he wants, he has to lose it so the ones he cares about survives. And at the end of the TV show comes to a close, we get a close-up of Loki, and the face that is shown is honestly the perfect expression for the bittersweet ending we got to the show. You can see both the smile on his face for the joy he feels that his friends will have the choice of free will, as well as the tears in his face, knowing that he will have to sit in this throne, fulfilling his glorious purpose for all of time, being alone. Now that we've talked about why Loki's ending was so sad, let's talk about his future, if he even has one. I personally believe that Loki will come back in Kang Dynasty, although Tom Hiddleston has said in the Jimmy Kimmel interview that the finale of season 2 is the conclusion to Loki. But I really don't think this is the end of Loki, as in another interview he stated that previously when he thought Loki had died, like in Infinity War, Loki has miraculously come back to life. So I feel like he has to come back to the Kang Dynasty movie. This is because it is his fault that he caused the Kang Dynasty war to happen, so it's only right that he be there to fix it. How, you may ask? Well, he could always create a clone of himself like the one in Thor Ragnarok. While the one in Thor might not have lasted that long, the current MCU Loki has the knowledge of centuries, so you'd have to assume his magic is powerful enough to create a full-fledged clone, one that could be off fighting Kang, as well as his main body staying to make sure the timelines don't die. I also personally just think that I'm not ready to let Loki go yet, because we haven't gotten a good ending with Thor and Loki yet. I just want in one movie or another to have this Loki and Thor from the main MCU universe to meet and finally show each other some love. Because right now, the Loki from the TV show came from a universe where his brother hates him, since he came from the events after the first Avengers movie. So I feel like the best ending would be that Loki meets Thor, probably in Kang Dynasty, since that's the next time I predict we'll see Loki. And at the beginning or end of Kang Dynasty, Thor and Loki will make up and be good brothers again. This is the end of the video, so comment down below how you reacted to the end of Loki Season 2 and if you think Loki has a future left for him in the MCU. And be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.